Hi everybody, hope you're all doing well. We are in the home stretch, just a few short weeks left of this semester. So we are entering into week 12 of solving social problems. You will see the very first thing listed on your to-do list for week 12 is to view and read the instructions and guidelines for your final project, your solving social problems project, which is due Friday, May 7th by 11:59 p.m. So if you go into the course content folder, you will see this separate folder, Solving Social Problems, and this folder contains all of the information you need for your final project. So I'm not going to open all of these and go through them because I've created separate videos for those. I definitely recommend you take the time to read through and watch all of the material in this folder. So this first document is just a very detailed document explaining the guidelines and instructions for this project, as well as going over the detailed grading rubric that I will be using to grade this final project. So this is your final for this class. We are not doing an exam. You're just going to be doing this project, which is making an infographic, an educational visual display about a social problem of your choosing. So again, read through these guidelines. This instruction video is basically just me walking through the guidelines, this document up here. And then the second video is different. This video, I am showing you how to access and navigate this online platform called Canva, which is what you will be using to create your infographic. So in this video, I just kind of show you how to access Canva. I show you a few of the features. I think it's very user-friendly software, so don't be overwhelmed if you're not a tech person. I myself am not super tech savvy, and I was able to put together an infographic in less than 2 hours today when I was playing around with it. So go ahead and read through this document. Watch both of these videos. I also provide examples of an infographic. This is the one I just threw together today. Again, I'm not claiming to be a tech wizard or particularly savvy graphic designer, but basically this is just an example that includes all of the elements that I am asking you to include in this infographic, and that will make sense when you read through these guidelines and rubric document right here. Last thing you'll see in here is the submission folder. As well, I have the rubric uploaded into this assignment, so when I grade your final projects, you will see exactly where you are getting points, where you're losing them, and the rubric is provided in detail in this document as well. So if you have any questions about your project as you start working on this, of course, reach out to me via email, visit me during office hours. I hope that the guidelines in these videos are very transparent and clear, but if you ever have any questions or if there's any uncertainty about anything, feel free to reach out. So you have several weeks to work on this. It's not due until our scheduled final exam period, which is not until May 7th, and I'm giving you until the end of the day, 11:59 p.m. But do not procrastinate. This is something that will take time because it's not just making the infographic. You're going to have to choose a social problem, and then you also have to research that social problem to find the information you want on your infographic, and you have to write a brief essay kind of summarizing the problem you chose and potential solutions to it. And again, all of this information is provided in this guidelines rubric and these instructional videos here. So first thing to do for this week, familiarize yourself with the final project, get an idea of how long it's going to take you so you can plan accordingly. This week, week 12, we are talking about social problems pertaining to healthcare and drugs. So again, I tried to be as minimal as I could with the content this week. I know it looks like a lot of things, but the vast majority of them are very brief. So you can start having a little more time each week to dedicate towards your final project for this class. So first reading here is just from our textbook, Social Problems in Health and Healthcare. This next is an article, a journalistic piece about why women are dying because doctors treat us like men. This third piece is an article about coronavirus and how it compounds inequalities, specifically in communities of color. And then this last reading here is just a summary of 22 studies that all agree that Medicare for all saves money. Then you'll have my lecture videos for this week where I unpack different inequalities in the healthcare system, talk about universal healthcare, why it's been so resisted by many, and the scientific benefits that universal healthcare could potentially have if it was implemented in the United States. And then this second batch of content is just briefly addressing social problems pertaining to drugs. So this first reading from the textbook about alcohol and drugs. This is a relatively short, I think like 30-minute video that documentary that kind of unpacks the current opioid crisis in the United States. It's a major epidemic that is affecting thousands of people, people getting hooked on these prescription medications, these prescription pain relievers, which are opioids. And this documentary does a good job kind of summarizing the effects that's having on our society. This next piece is the social impact cannabis legalization would have in the United States. Another topic we talk relating to social problems pertaining to drugs is the criminalization of marijuana. And there's some evidence and some interesting studies coming out that really suggest how many widespread societal benefits legalizing marijuana would have. And then this last piece, America's War on Drugs, was designed to fail, so why is it being revised now? This idea of claiming a quote-unquote war on drugs is really controversial, and again, that's something that gets fleshed out in this reading as well as in the lecture videos for this content. So I really hope you find this week's content interesting. I think some of these social problems pertaining to health and drugs are some of the most pressing and current events our society is facing, especially this past year coming out of the pandemic. A lot of these problems are going to have pretty widespread effects for long times to come. So I hope you find this content interesting. And again, if you have any questions about the content or about your final project, please do not hesitate to reach out. I am happy to help in any capacity that I can. All right, stay safe, stay well, everyone. Have a great week.